What's going on, guys? Renato here with another car video. In my last video I said that I had purchased a car to put on a tour platform that was kind of an exotic car, and it's a car that's been around for a couple of years. I'd say like 10 years. So it's the Maserati Granturismo. So it's a really cool car. I'm gonna flip the camera so you guys can look at the car. It's a 2018 Gran Turismo Sport. Here we go. Let me flip the camera. There it is. That's the car. Now this car is in question right now, whether or not this car, a lot of people are thinking whether or not this car is going to appreciate or hold its value or depreciate, right? We know that Maseratis are sort of like kings of depreciation. For example, this car has a sticker price of like $130,000, but it's a 2018 with 20,000 miles, and I picked it up for $76,000. So these cars depreciate a lot. Now, however, Maserati said or Ferrari, I guess, said that they're no longer going to be building the engines for these cars. So this car uses I think it's a 4.2 liter or 4.7 liter engine that's built by Ferrari, which is a lot of what excites people about these cars is their engine. And a lot of people even say that these cars actually have the best sounding V8 ever, which I have to say I agree. The car sounds really good. I'll turn on the car in a little bit so you guys can hear. But will this car appreciate or will this car depreciate further? That's the risk. I'm thinking that it might appreciate just because V8s are becoming sort of a rarity. Dodge has recently announced that by 2024, I think, they'll be discontinuing the SRT products, which is a bummer because all of the SRT products are so nice. Even though I don't actually own one, I always want to. I love the sound of those 6.4s or even the 6.2 with the supercharger, the Hellcat engines. I mean, those sound really good. But this car sounds amazing. I mean, as far as looks, I can pretty much bet that this car is not going to lose its appeal for looks. I mean, this is a car that was first introduced, I believe, in the early 2000s, mid 2000s maybe, at most by the late 2000s. And it's stuck around basically unchanged until now. Actually, I think its last model year was 2019, and this is the 2018 model. So it's a car that hasn't changed. You have the variations of the car with the convertible, but it's a pretty classic look. I mean, it's a gorgeous car though. I mean, even though it's not like a super high-end exotic car, I mean, you get a lot of looks when you're driving this car, a lot of compliments. So I'm really happy owning this car. Now, I bought this car with the purpose of putting it on a Turo platform to see if I can get weekend rentals. You know, people going out for dinner with their loved ones or people coming into town who just wants to drive something a little nicer for the weekend. That was the plan. I love driving the car. The car is absolutely gorgeous on the inside. I'll give you guys a quick peek of the inside of the car. It's finished in this really bright red leather, which looks absolutely amazing. Now I gotta tell you, these cars are not the fanciest things, like, you know what I mean, as far as technology and gadgets and all that. What you get with this car is a really classic interior, really pretty, kind of comfortable. It is a sports car. Let me turn the camera. It is a sports car, so you do feel every little bump in the road, and you do feel every little pebble that you go over it, as you would expect, you know, such a low profile car. But it's not something that's going to amaze you. I think that if you went inside probably like a Lexus, like I think it's the LFA, which that car costs a lot of money too. But just for comparison, I mean, the technology in those cars are probably amazing. Even I guess even if you're going to 370Z or the 400Z, right, which just coming out, that technology, the technology in those cars are probably going to amaze you more. Where this stands out is obviously you're driving a Maserati, which has its own prestige, right? Driving a Maserati, and then you're driving something that looks like it costs way more than you actually pay for it. Because people think that this car costs over $100,000, which it did at first. No longer. That's why people buy so many people choose to buy used Maseratis as opposed to new ones, because they just lose so much value up front. But you know, for the price that you pay for 2 or 3 years down the line, I think it's totally worth it. Now, the scary thing about these cars are obviously the maintenance. From after doing a little bit of research, it looks like the Granturismo is probably the most reliable Maserati there is to own. I'm counting on that because I don't want to be spending a lot of money on maintenance. I know that the dealer put in 4 new tires for me. They put changed the oil, changed the air filters, and I was running the numbers. That could be like around $2,500. So it does cost a little bit of money to maintain these cars, but I don't think it's anything outrageous. So I think we'll be okay. You know, this car actually has a back seat. See, I was going to show you guys. So you can actually have 2 children in the back. Now, I'd say for adults, it might be a little bit tight, but for children, it's definitely doable. Not bad at all. So look at the key for this car. It still has like a traditional key, which is a little odd for a 2018 vehicle. Most vehicles, you know what I mean, 2018 or even going beyond that, before that, 15, because I had a 15 Santa Fe that had a push button. So I think cars have had push buttons now for at least 10 years. But for some reason, Maserati stuck with a regular key up until the year 2018, and I guess 19 as well, which is a little odd. But, you know, I guess it adds to the appeal of like a more of a sports car feel, and I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna turn it on so you guys can hear the exhaust of the car. It does not have remote start, which sucks. Let's see if I can turn it on. It's a very cold start, but the car sounds absolutely amazing. 2 things that I really like about this car, driving this car, is the drive modes when you're driving it. So you have a sport button that you can push, and that kind of opens up the, I guess, the exhaust, so it sounds a little bit, so it's a little bit more sporty. But then if you want to take it a step further, if you throw the shifter into the manual shifting position, then it opens up even more, and then it becomes really, really loud. And the paddle shifters in these cars are insane. They don't move with the steering wheel, which is amazing, which is really good when you're taking corners. Not that this car is great on corners, I have to admit, but it's a joy to drive on a straight line, and if you're just relaxing, you know what I mean, passing cars on a freeway, it's amazing. But it's not really a good car for corners. But when you put that into sport mode and you use the paddle shifters, oh my gosh, it turns into a completely different beast. It sounds literally like you're driving a Ferrari. I've been inside a Ferrari before, and I rev the engine, and it really sounds just like that. That's one of my favorite features in a car so far. The other one that I really like on the interior of the car are these carbon fiber accents together with the red interior sound. Looks really cool. You see how they have the carbon fiber all throughout, and they follow along in the door panel and go even in the back. That's a really cool touch. I'm actually considering if I should put carbon fiber on the hood, on the top of the car, and over this tail, this end piece right here, just to bring it together with the inside. I think that might look pretty cool. I don't know, what do you guys think? or should I just keep it white? The other thing is, I was wondering if I should put tints on the car. Now I'm not so sure, because I think the car looks nice when you look inside the car and you see the red seats. I think it adds to the appeal of the car. But does this car need tints? Do you want to be seen in a Maserati, right? I guess that's the question, because people are going to look, and if you want to be noticed, don't put the tints. But if you want to hide yourself, then I guess, yeah, tints is the way to go. I'm okay with people seeing me inside the car. I don't have a problem. So I don't know, I'll consider the tints later on. So a few more features of the car. Obviously it has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is really good, because the picture on the map is absolutely horrendous. I'm sorry, but this is a Uconnect system, the same one that the Jeeps use, but this must be an older one, because this does not look good. But once you add the Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto here, then you know what I mean, then it's really good. It's no problem at all. Now you have these controls here on this car, which I have some things that I'm not quite sure what it does. So this has the sign, I guess, for the fog lights, but when you push it, there's no fog lights that come on in the front, so I'm not really sure what this does. Then you have the brightness, the parking, the tailgate, and the modes, which I guess selects your computer, like your front computer, so you to see what you want to look at. You have the gas thing, which only work if you turn off the car. Like, I've tried to go to the gas station before and put gas with the car on just in park. It will not open. You have to completely turn off the car and push that button in order for you to fill it up with gas. Very simple over here. You have a lock and unlock button. You have your, I guess it's for you not to slide, right? I forgot what this thing is called. And then you have the volume, and then you have the selector for your radio stations. This is where you park. You have really small cup holders here, which basically fit like a small cup of coffee. Little center console here, which doesn't really fit anything. You got a disc, I think you have a memory slot right here. You have a USB, and then you have an auxiliary port. I guess if you smoke. I don't. That's it, guys. I have no sunroof in this car, but that's it. This is the 2018 Maserati. I'll make another video afterwards if I decide to put a custom wrap on the hood and on the top of the car and in the back to show how it comes out. I did drop off the charger yesterday to get the custom wrap, so I'm waiting for that to be done. Probably gonna take another 2 days, and I'll make another video about this car maybe in another month or so to see how it performs on the Toro platform. I know that this car has a range of like $180 to $458 daily for the rental, which if you rent for that amount, this is definitely a good. This is gonna be definitely a good car to have there. The payment on this car came in just over $1,200 a month. So if you rent it for 2 weekends in a month, you're pretty much making your payment and you're making profit. That is the plan. So far it's been a joy to drive. I'm gonna head out to work right now. I'm gonna go in a Maserati to work, and have a good day, guys. Thank you for sticking around.